Well, hello and welcome to another Hangin' with Harry O on a Wednesday night.
Hey, Harry, how are you?
I'm wonderful. Yeah, guess who I'm with here? It's the Scary
us.
Myers. It's us.
It's
Yeah,
us.
I'm trying to take off my thing there. I just like to have it on in the beginning. My God, I haven't seen you guys forever. It seems like it was winter or something.
It does, and this summer has gone so fast already. I cannot believe it's after the 4th.
Wow. Jerry, you look like you got a haircut, man.
Oh, no.
Or it's just, is it just greased back there? Okay.
It's not even greased back. It's just pulled back.
Pulled back.
I hate my hair, Harry.
I love it.
You ever get hot? You got to get hot.
I do. My beard isn't so bad. It's the hair on my head that just pisses me off.
Yeah.
I like it.
And Aaron likes it, and that's why you keep it.
Yeah.
Oh, what a good guy. That's right. Well, we got a lot of catching up to do here because it's been a while since we talked, and we were off for a few weeks as well. I got super busy in June, and all the COVID weddings that came back and scheduled, and oh my God, it was just nuts. And so it was, believe it or not, on a Wednesday night, it was better just to postpone here. So everybody's trying to catch up, and now you guys are here. And usually at this time of year, we're talking about the big Freedom Rally that you guys go to. It's Aaron's birthday right during that, it seems, right?
It is July 2nd, and they did not skimp on the birthday party or the fun and shenanigans. So that's
yeah. Well, I want to hear about it. Your birthday. And this was number what? 22? 23. Yes. Okay.
28. Just
or 42, whichever.
Or whatever. Yeah.
My actual birthday on July 2nd. What was that? Friday? It's hard. It's hard to remember. It's a little foggy. It's a lot foggy.
Yeah.
But so let's see. What did we do in the morning Friday?
Rodeo.
Oh,
I did the rodeo.
Jerry announced.
You lounged around the campground.
I tried not to die because at midnight everybody was like, "It's your birthday," and we started, the libations pretty hardcore after midnight. And so Jerry announced the rodeo while I tried to rejuvenate my liver and become a person again that could form functioning words.
It kind of sounds like you still haven't met that person.
I am still tired. My voice, this is the first year I've kind of lost my voice after rally. So sorry, I'm a little squeaky.
Well, I know it's one time a year for you that you really kind of, do it up pretty good. And, but if you ever need recovery, you got a couple of guys here that'll help you out.
About it. Well,
I want to know if Jerry is ever saying SMH.
Here's what I found in life, Harry. It is men like you and my husband that make me drink.
Oh, there we go. Oh, you make your drink, Jerry. Nice.
Yeah.
Because it's like, listen, I'm sure there's a moment or two where it's like, Aaron, I got a story to tell you. And then
a time or two?
A time or two.
An hour? Are we talking about every hour there's a time or two that we're sharing stories?
Yeah.
Yeah. I love your stories. They sometimes just poofta.
And I'd like to get to some of those stories. Some stories that came out of the Abate rally. You got on stage. I saw pictures. Was that a current picture this year? Did you introduce Seven Dust, if I saw it right?
Yes, I did.
Well, there's got to be stories here. Come on, tell me.
It was one of the highlights of my rally. No, it was the highlight of my rally. My good friend Jeff Hoker, who runs the A-Bait Freedom Rally, he's kind of like the HMFIC over there. I heard Seven Dust was playing there, and first thing I did was jump on text, and I was like, man, I don't care what I have to do. I said, is there any way I can be the one to introduce him? And he kept stringing me along. He was like, I'll see what I can do. I'll see. Right. We'll see. There might be somebody else. We'll see. And then the night came, and they run their backstage security very tight. You know, they run their backstage security better than a lot of venues that I've seen. And I walked up to the gate, and the guy was like, I don't know if I can let you back here or not. He said, let me go find Hoker. And he went and found Hoker, and then he brought me out. And he was like, yeah, man, hold tight. I'm not sure if the other guy wants to do it yet or not, so just hold on. And I was like, oh. And he was just dicking with me the whole time. He knew I was going to do it. And I went out there in front of 10,000 of my closest friends, and I introduced Seven Dust, and I walked backstage. I introduced him, and I walked off stage, and LeJohn was there, and he gave me a big hug, and his eyes were huge, and he was like, man, you know how to bring the energy, brother. And I was like, oh, I'm just shitting myself, you know. So yeah, it was
a blast. I mean, do you remember what you talked about? I mean, come on, you didn't just introduce. Come on, if I know, Scary Jerry, you were up there for a good 10 minutes.
Dude, I spent 3 days planning on what I was going to say and how I was going to say it, the inflection in my voice.
Right.
And I walked out on that stage, and I forgot every damn word I was going to say.
So you winged it.
Yeah. So I just stood there. I walked out there, and that crowd started cheering because they had a local DJ from Fort Dodge do what they call a soft intro. And he came out and he talked a little bit about the rally, and then he introduced me. And, I've been announcing stuff for 10, 15 years there. So the crowd knows me. So the crowd started cheering for me. And that's when I just completely wiped out everything I was going to say. And I talked about how I'd listened to the band forever, and I had got to meet them once before. And
you talked about their work with
the vets and how they tour relentlessly overseas with the USO, providing music for our vets. And then I said I got to meet them at the Surf Ballroom, and I said the main reason I like them so much is they are genuinely nice guys. Not once while talking to him did I ever get an air of arrogance out of them of, oh, Jesus, now, we did the show and now we got to stand around and talk to the fans and blah, blah. They were genuinely interested. And then I just blurted out. I was like, let's let them know that A-Bait knows they're here. Let's welcome Seven Dust. And I threw my fist in the air, and that's when the crowd freaking blew up. It was crazy, man.
Yeah.
Good 10K. How many people there? Do you have any estimations of?
No idea. A lot.
A lot.
I guess all but maybe three of my friends showed up. So probably anywhere from, I'm going to say roughly 6,000 to 15,000 people. 6,000 to 15,000.
I think you're exaggerating. A lot.
One way or the other, maybe.
I think you're.
It looks like 100,000 people.
Yeah. I believe you might be a little on the higher or off the charts of the spectrum.
I couldn't. I tried to get them to turn the house lights on to do a quick head count. They wouldn't do it, so I really can't tell you how many people.
You didn't just say, "Okay, everybody line up and count off."
Let's hear it. Start here. 1, 2, 3. Yeah.
But that
Jerry,
you
oh, go ahead.
He was beaming when he came off stage. So of course he announces Seven Dust. I know at that point in time, like I shouldn't even try to kind of find him. I'll hang out. He'll find me at some point in time. So I was hanging out in the crowd in the beer barn, having a good time, listening to the band. And all of a sudden it was just like, we locked eyes, and like his face, like, I'm not sure if you were that excited when our children were born. Like you were just so excited, and you could barely say anything. You were just like, I announced Seven Dust, and I'm like, you announced Seven Dust, and it was so great to see that side of you. And
here's the best part, Harry. I talked to Hooker when we got there Wednesday, and I said, "Hey, man, have you figured out if I get to introduce Seven Dust or not?" And he goes, "Well, we'll have to see. It looks okay, but we'll have to see." So I told Aaron, I said, "Oh my God, Hooker said it looks good for me introducing Seven Dust." And she says to me, "We get to introduce who?" And I said, "The fact that you don't know who they are tells me that you don't get to introduce Seven Dust."
Like, really? I can't even kind of. And he goes, "What song do they play?"
Yeah, name one song, and she forgot the name Seven Dust 10 minutes after I told it to her.
5 Dust, 8 Dust, no, 7 Dust. Oh,
Dust. I don't know, whatever.
Wasn't it cool to see your husband up on that? And is that the biggest stage? Seriously, Jerry, is that your biggest stage that you've been on then? Probably.
Yeah, that's the biggest crowd I've been in. And I'm not exaggerating when I say there were probably 3,000 or 4,000 people out in front of that stage.
Oh, yeah, of course. Obviously, the show went extremely well. And
oh, my God, dude, they blew that stage up, man. It was unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Takeaways from that event, because on the Fox we were giving away passes, what people could, and it was like one pass because they were like $100 passes, and it got you into everything. And I'll tell you what, I didn't know how it would go over, because a lot of people, obviously they want pairs of tickets, but because of the price, I mean, $100. This would just definitely get them. I said, "Hey, you win, all your friends get to pay,"
Yeah. And here's the best part about that. Everybody always says about the Freedom Rally, "Man, tickets are $100. That's stupid." And it's like, not when you think about it, man. That is on-site camping from Thursday until Sunday morning. That is 3, if not 5 or 6 major label artists. Plus all the beer bands, the local bands. And it's like, man, you pay that much for one show, and that's here you're getting 6 major label bands.
And they get to hear us announce fun shows.
Yeah, and they get to hear us talk all day long.
That's worth at least 5, 6
Aaron drink.
Yeah, all day long.
I will say I was a little bit responsible this year. On Saturday, this was the first time that I didn't drink while I announced all of the shows right up until the Butts contest. And then I was like, all right, it's time to do it. Because I was like, okay, you have to maintain composure a little bit. And so I kind of grew up a little bit from 41 to 42. And
that's why the tattoo contest sucked this year. The 21 was too sober to crack jokes.
Too sober.
And I'm sure you guys are seeing people that are probably, that's the only time you see them throughout the year, probably.
Oh, yeah.
They're traveling from all over,
Yep.
I mean, guaranteed. I mean, that's when we see the majority of these people is at the rally.
Right. So, a lot of conversations, a lot of good times.
Oh, good times. A lot of glitter.
A lot of glitter.
A lot of glitter. Yeah.
She hosted the 2nd and 3rd Best Butts contest. Oh. And, because we have the cool down contest that I MC, which is kind of like a wet t-shirt, except without the t-shirt in a lot of cases. And they asked her if she wanted to host the men's best butt contest. And she was like, heck yeah. But she put her own spin on it. Instead of water, she uses glitter.
Girls love glitter.
Yeah.
Glitter and butts. It drives me nuts.
On the butts, on the
everything.
Face, it looks like a troll farted all over the stage, Harry. Yeah. It's disgusting.
God.
And the sad thing is, I'm still finding glitter everywhere I go. Like today, I was at work and I looked at my desk. I'm like, how is there still glitter? I've showered like 7 times. But
it was a little warm too. I mean, it was hot, right?
It sticks, no problem.
Yep. I will say the guys that were on stage did a really great job. Like, You have to be really, really brave for dudes
or really, really drunk. A lot of them were really, really drunk.
To be a naked man in front of many other bikers, female or male, on stage dancing. Like the guys that came, they were ready. They were like, I don't care. Let's just do it. Bring the party. And they did.
Well, there's a reason why it's a 21 and over event that happens.
Well, it's 18 and older.
Oh, it's 18. Oh, I thought it was 21.
Yeah, you get it. No,
you're an adult. You're an adult.
Yeah. Yep. You get a different colored wristband, and if you're caught drinking, you get quickly escorted off the property. So, yeah, but it's 18 and older.
Which is a little scary for me personally because McCain has 3 years before he can come join us, and he's pretty stoked. And I'm Mama Bear is doing it.
Because you're not coming home saying, "Oh, it's boring." Oh, you just stay home. It's okay.
Right.
Yeah, you talk about all these good times you're having. It's like, yeah, I want to go now.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I can see it. All right. Well, that's what I kind of wanted to open up with was the debate rally, obviously. But here's what we're going to do here tonight. Something I like to gather questions for you guys. Obviously, have been married for 15, something like that, or whatever.
17.
Yeah. Well, I don't get a chance to ask too many couple questions, so it's going right at you. So here's the first question tonight for you guys. If you could spend 24 hours doing anything in the world together, anything in the world, spend 24 hours, where, what would it be?
20.
You got to remember, I'm only good for about 10 minutes, so I don't know what we're going to do with the other 23 and hours and 50 minutes.
Well, I mean,
so think about your answers.
8 of that is cuddling. So,
yes.
Okay. If him and I could spend 24 hours doing like one activity or going to one location, like what?
Doing anything in the world together.
If I would first pick a trip to New Zealand for us to, I don't know, do anything in New Zealand. Like if
beautiful down there.
Yes. And we have some friends down there that we've always wanted to go and visit them there. They've always been to the States and we've never been there. And so New Zealand would be my first travel destination thing. What about you?
Yeah. I think we need more than 24 hours for New Zealand.
You can barely get to New Zealand on a plane in 24 hours. The flight's like 24 hours.
Okay. Interesting.
If you were asking me right now, it would be to take a nap.
Take a nap. Okay. All right.
Okay. What if you were fully
if it wasn't just 3 days after the rally, what would I want to do?
When you're not exhausted.
I would say get on the bikes and go for a ride.
Like
anywhere.
All day?
Yeah, just head west.
What about an iron? We could do an iron butt.
Yeah. We could easily
do that. We could do an iron butt. That's 800 miles within it's
like 900 miles in 24 hours.
Yeah.
Okay.
On the bikes?
Mm-hmm.
That sounds fun. Oh, by the way, before we move on here, somebody's got something for you here. Talk about the hot dog pictures from Snapchat.
Oh, Silver. Yeah, that would be hard to recap there, honey. It's hard to do a visual that they don't have the visual of, but Silver sent some funny Snapchats with hot dogs to Jerry, so.
Oh.
She did?
She did.
Not brats, but hot dogs.
Yeah.
At least they weren't little smokies.
Little smoky. Okay.
I mean, if Silver's going to talk about anything, I'm surprised she's not talking about the radioactive vagina girl that she keeps sending me.
Love it. All right, we're going to go back to when you guys were dating. What's your favorite memory from when you were dating?
Oh,
Harry, we've been married for 17 years. My favorite definitely Aaron's. My favorite memory is we weren't married.
That's it. Since we got married, just everything went downhill. Seriously. Guess who's
Oh my!
not?
Listen, you're just pissed that I beat you to it. That's the only thing you're mad about.
I'm just like thinking 18. I'm like, can I?
No, we signed that 50-year contract.
Well, and I don't know if anybody's watched the past videos that we've done with the Scary Myers, but Aaron did not like this guy for a while.
I hated Sherry for
You
many
hated
a year. I despised everything about him. We had okay. So my favorite memory before we were dating, before we knew each other, is my best friend Angie and I went to go get our tongues pierced somewhere, and we went to the studio in the mall, which was called Rats. It's where Victoria's Secrets was. I think it was called Rats.
No,
or
it
something.
was called the Zoo.
Oh, whatever. Well, there was rats a running. And
it was a very clean piercing establishment.
It really was. It looked fine.
Don't talk trash about my studio.
It was fine. And
yeah, hold on. Before she goes any farther, she's not recapping a very important piece. These were two farm girls. They had like chaw in their lip and cow crap on their boots. So when she's making fun of my piercing studio, she needs to remember what she was like then.
Chaw.
Cowboy hats.
Chaw.
Spaghetti. Yeah, girl. Big old chunk of chaw.
Did I have?
Ding! Pissed off we didn't have spittoons.
A straw in my mouth.
Yep. Piece of hay hanging out.
Got it.
So I'll let her continue now that I have properly set the scene.
Okay. That was fun.
Yep.
So Angie and I decide that, we want to go get our tongues pierced. And we walk into the studio, and Jerry promptly greeted Angie and I and was like, "Hey, can I help you?" And we're like,
I greeted her friend. Her friend was a lot hotter.
Yeah.
Boy, you're just freaking killing it.
I'm nailing it today.
But she also had the boots on and the chaw.
Yep, they both did.
Yeah. And boy, and you said, boy, one of these women are really hot and should be my wife.
At this point in time, I wish you had picked Angie.
But nothing was in your mind, Gary, about God, one of these girls. I mean,
No.
Could be.
Well, I mean, he kind of beelined for us, and he was like, "Hey, can I help you? What do you need?" And we're like, "Yeah, we want to get our tongues pierced. This will be our first piercings and whatnot." And so he was kind of showing us around. Now you have to remember, this would have been like 99, 2000, maybe something like that. He looked like he fell into a tackle box, and so everything on his face was pierced. And I looked at him after his little spiel, and I looked at my friend Angie, and I was like, "Hey, girl, here's what's up. I'm not letting this guy touch me at all. I'm going somewhere else." And I turned around and left. And then married you like 4 years later.
Yeah, and then married me 4 years later.
Jerry, speaking of tongue piercings, has it always been just about the decoration? I mean, I realize piercings are piercings, but is there a reason behind the piercings?
You really have to.
Cunnilingus, Harry.
Yeah, you really have
to.
I just wanted you to say it. Just wanted you to say it and be honest.
Yeah. It was solely for decoration, Harry.
Totally for decoration, like a Christmas tree. There you go.
Yep.
All right. Speaking of memories, okay, let's jump into the. Let's just jump after the dating and stuff. Your favorite memory from your wedding?
From the wedding.
Who married you, by the way?
Steve Johnson.
Steve Johnson.
Yep, Steve
from
Johnson.
Forest City.
Nice.
Right.
Very nice.
Non-denominational pastor out of Forest City.
Oh, I remember my favorite part from our wedding is we had the pastor ask, does anybody object to this wedding? And we had our friend's
Angie's boyfriend
at the time stand up, who was like a little farm kid, And so he stood up and was like, and then Chopper Dave, our big biker friend who was in the wedding party, he
was the best man.
The best man, yes, of course he's the best man. He pulled out a gun. It was obviously fake, but he pulled out a gun and was like, "You what?" And so then he
shot him.
Oh yeah, it was like
he pulled this cap gun out and he popped a round off. Adam sat down and he goes, "Anybody else?"
Yeah.
Man, I wish there was more drama like that. That was awesome.
Yeah.
Humor.
That makes wedding fun, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you?
I think my favorite part of the wedding was when my brother got up to give a speech in front of everybody, and he said, his exact words were, "It was 2 years ago that Jer said, I met a girl." And I went, "Oh shit." And he did that. My family kind of expects that stuff from me, but Erin's family was there too. So, saying that at the wedding in front of her family, I kind of got a kick out of that.
How long was your service? Was it a short one or was it?
No, dude, it was a 15-minute wedding.
Or less, yeah.
That's how I patterned mine. I know how much I enjoyed mine, so that's what I patterned mine after.
Oh, really? So it was like, did Steve do some things here that you said, "Oh man, I want to do this"?
Kind of.
Yeah. Okay.
Kind of. Yeah. He did exactly what we wanted, and he didn't do anything we didn't want.
Yeah, but
that was the key thing.
I think what he's asking is, did you see Steve doing our wedding and be like, "Yeah, I want to do what you're doing"?
Oh no.
Yeah.
No.
That was years later.
Yeah.
Came later.
Yeah, that was 10 years later, something like that.
Yeah.
And in 15 minutes, what was it? Just a little story, some vows, a few scriptures, maybe?
Couple quick vows. We took communion in honor of my mom who had died the year before. And that was it, man.
Rode away on motorcycles. My brother, who's obviously also a farm kid, he was going to learn to ride motorcycles before, but he was very busy working for the company he was with then. And so he was like, I just didn't have time to learn how to ride a motorcycle. I'm like, all right, well, what can we do? I'm like, let's get a four-wheeler. Jump on a four-wheeler in the middle of the bikes. And so here's like bike as we're going down the road, and then one little four-wheeler in the middle of it with my brother.
He about got our wedding shut down.
Yeah.
Because our friend Dan loaned us his four-wheeler.
Yeah.
And we had it out at Lime Creek. He unloaded the four-wheeler. Dan unloaded the four-wheeler, and flipping Brad got on it and took off like a dumbass down the road. And that instantly caught the attention of the
Ranger,
whatever you call them, and
conservation officer.
I had to do some fast talk, and he was like, "I will kick all of you out of here. Those are not allowed, blah, 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 yada, yada." And I was like, "Listen, man, he's a dumbass. I'll straight up admit he's a dumbass. That will not move until we are leaving, and then it'd be just like you're kicking us out because we're leaving, So,
and my brother always thought that, like, he felt bad he didn't learn to ride a motorcycle, and I was like, the best thing ever. Like, it would have been a little boring if we would have had just bikes. We had bikes and a four-wheeler, so I was happy.
So Brad rode a four-wheeler from Lime Creek Nature Center all the way to the Knights of Columbus through Mason City
in a line of bikers.
Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome. And what, 100, 200? And we froze. Ah! Are you guys there? Hello? Oh, shoot. Well, hey, we got a good 30 minutes in anyway. Oh, shoot. Well, don't know what to do. Hey, wait a minute. Here, they're coming back. They're back. It's us.
Look, it's us is back.
So you had a couple hundred? You had 100? Couple hundred?
At the wedding?
Say
Yeah.
about 150.
Yeah, 150, 200-ish. Probably more like 150.
And
Well,
reception. Did you have a reception?
We had a
Okay.
reception at the Knights of
Nice.
Columbus, and I mean it was a good time. It was your very traditional reception. Everybody ate good food, good as wedding food can be. I mean, seriously, who actually goes to a wedding reception and goes, wow, all that food was amazing? It's usually, yeah, food.
Yeah.
So we had that, we had a dance,
Soak
and
up.
we had
It's called soaking up the. You got to soak up the suds. That's what.
Oh,
yeah.
yes, definitely.
Seen a lot of that. Okay,
Yeah.
That's why I've always, my big thing for weddings. I wish, and nobody ever does. I wish they would just, start the party, leave the food out all night. Just keep updating the hot hors d'oeuvres. That's all people
Yeah.
want. They want a good time, and nobody ever does that. They think they had to have this freaking meal that they sit down at, and carve
I
through the
agree.
chicken or whatever, and it's like just have hot
I
hors
agree
d'oeuvres.
1,000%. I
Weenies.
tell every bride,
Little weenies.
like, do a 7 o'clock wedding at wherever you're gonna have the reception. Just have hors d'oeuvres and drinks and music and have fun, and it'll be so easy and low key, and you'll enjoy the day so much better versus all this other planning. But I mean, everybody's got to do what they got to do. So
Grand March,
One
everybody
thing
get up.
One thing I found is it's usually the bride or the groom's parents that say, "Oh no, you got to have a meal." No,
Yeah.
you don't. You know?
You gotta spend $5,000 on food.
We did our whole wedding for $2,000,
Wow.
25.
and her wedding dress was like 800 of that.
Wow. You can't even find a venue for that.
Yeah,
It's hard. It's hard to do.
I'm a master negotiator.
All right.
Oh,
Okay.
that's a
So, go
quick
ahead. I'm sorry.
translation for her being a master negotiator. She's cheap. And it's afforded us a wonderful life. I added that at the end. You can't get mad.
Very good.
You know,
Hey,
just
who
because you say you can't get mad doesn't mean I
That
can't
means you
get
can't
mad.
get mad. If I make the statement and then say you can't get mad, you can't get mad.
God, it's
Hey, who in your family do you think you're most like? Think about siblings, think about whether they're past or here or not here, just whatever. Who in your family do you think is that you're most like?
Absolutely no one.
No one. I knew that was coming.
There is absolutely nobody in my family that's like me or that I am like.
They would say the same thing. They would probably say the same thing. Yeah.
I would disagree, and I think that you're using the term family a little more literally than I am. I've noticed that you, I think, are a combination between your actual brother Chuck and Chopper Dave, your brother, your best friend. Like, you melded those two personalities from your youth, and like that's kind of who you gravitate towards.
Hey, Chopper's younger than me. He took after me.
Yeah, maybe I really don't know, but
Yeah.
I would say
I would say, okay. I didn't want to admit it, but yes, my brother Chuck, because he was a liquid smartass. I mean,
yes,
very dry sense of humor. He'd come up with things right now.
very quick.
And it was all very not low brow, but low key humor that you'd hear it. And then like 30 seconds later, you'd start laughing because you realized what he said.
Holidays at their house, like I would just sit in the car for a second and it was just like, okay, I hope your ego is of iron steel because people are about to tear it down. Like, you better come quick-witted. You better come with jokes in your pocket because the minute you walk in, like somebody's going to be after something. And it was the most fun. Like, Chuck really brought a lot of the life and personality of just like, I'm going to tell you exactly how it is right now. and he never missed a beat. And so you gleaned a lot of that from him, and I think I did too, a little bit too. So I would say your brother.
And my mom was a smartass without realizing she was a smartass. She would say things that to her made perfect sense, but to the rest of us were just the funniest damn thing in the world. Like Aaron and I had broken up for a little bit, and we were kind of dating again, and she came to Christmas. She was going to school in Missouri, and she came back, and she came to Christmas at our house. And my mom walked in, and mom was convinced that the only reason Aaron and I had broken up is because mom actually liked her. So I broke up with her because she is the first girl that, she is the first girl that mom actually liked. So mom walks in and she says hi to me, and she says hi to my brother, and she says hi to my sister-in-law and my sister. And she looks at Aaron and she goes, and I fucking hate you.
Like locked eyes, like 6 inches away from my face. Yeah. And I hadn't seen this woman that I loved and adored for like 3 months because we had broke up. And the first thing she says to me at Christmas is, I fucking hate you. And my heart broke. And I was just like, what did I do?
The look of sheer terror and pain that came across your face. Yeah. It was a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
And I had to calm Aaron down and be like, no, she's saying that because she thinks the only reason we broke up is because she actually liked you. So
and here you are. Imagine that.
Yeah.
How about you, Aaron, though? What do you like in your family? Who are you? And maybe Jerry needs to answer that one.
Yeah, maybe. When I think back about all the people like in my immediate family, like actual blood, my grandmother Cecil, she was a very strong woman. She was a very smart woman. She was a woman that did the books for a farm back the 50s, the 60s. And so women didn't do bookkeeping or accounting then because she was supposed to be, mopping the floor and taking care of the children. And so, but she was extremely smart and quick with numbers. But I did not get that aspect of math is not my thing. But I did glean how to be a strong, intelligent woman in a mix of
a male-dominated
world very quickly. And so she taught me how to make that balance of still being a woman, but being assertive and making your point come across, and also being smart and not letting people steamroll you. And so I took a lot of that from her. I took a lot of my kindness from my mother and caring behavior. And then, of course, my friends were all smart asses, and Angie and Cassie, they kind of helped me glean my humor and give me a little bit of an edge. So I have an Aunt Mary Kay too, who was also a very strong, fun woman, very fun, who knew how to bring a party and tell a story. And so those would kind of be the people that like I would have taken pieces of them and then kind of smushed together to create maybe who I wanted to be.
I hope everyone heard the word assertive. Best word ever. Assertive. Yeah. Not aggressive, but assertive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In 17 years, this woman who has given me everything I have, given me 2 beautiful baby boys, and I love with all my heart. Yeah. I have heard the word assertive so many times that I now transpose it with kind of bitchy. And this is the way it is.
I'll take it. And every other woman out there, if they're calling you bitchy, you're being assertive.
Yes, and keep it up.
I can't imagine anyone in the Myers family being passive.
No.
No.
Not a bit.
Going back to what we were talking about earlier, and you shared that story about when you first met her and she had boots on and all that kind of stuff. So I want to know, Jerry, what moment did you know that she was the one that you were like, I love this woman, that you knew you were in love with her?
I know that.
Okay.
Harry, Harry,
That you were in love with her.
I'd rather not answer that question, Harry. We don't need to talk about that, Harry.
I know this moment because
We're learning a lot. That's the whole purpose of this show. We get to learn a lot, you know.
I literally saw the spark in his eye at one point in time, and I was like, "Oh, buddy, I don't know if we're there yet."
And I saw the spark in her eye where she went, I probably couldn't do any worse.
Was there a moment for you, Aaron? Oh my God, I love you. You know, was there that moment?
Okay. I'm going to answer mine first, and I'm going to answer it honestly.
Okay,
good.
We hung out as friends for like 2 months, 3 months. And it was probably a month into that we had been hanging out, to where if I would have known for a fact that she would say yes and not freak out and run away, I would have asked her to marry me.
And I would have freaked out and ran
away. That's why I kept my mouth shut.
Okay. Wow. You know what?
Yes,
and
after 1 month.
For as boisterous as you are, how about that? You listen to yourself.
Yeah. The inner guy said, "Just shut up, dumbass."
This is the one.
And that was the last time he ever said, "Shut up, dumbass." Now I just say whatever I'm thinking.
Yes,
all right.
yes,
And Aaron, what was that for you?
So, all right, I don't get gooey very much, but I will. Hold
on. I'm getting ready for this.
Oh, now I'm not going to do it.
No, you got to do it. We're live. You have to do it.
There have been many moments in our relationship that Jerry has forced me to fall in love with him again and again and again and again. I can say that I remember the time where I was like, I am willing to actually commit myself to one person, because I don't commit. I don't like to commit. It's not my deal. And I do strongly remember there was a point in time. So like Jerry and I were friends for like 2 months, and then we actually started dating. And then I moved away to Missouri, and he became a very jealous asshole. And I was like, you are being a jealous asshole right now, and I'm not putting up with any of that. So we can still be friends. We can leave it at that level, but we're not dating anymore, and I'm going to date down here. And so after I'd been down in Missouri for a while, we were still friends. I would come up and hang out. Like, you were dating girls. We would come up and party together and still have fun and whatnot. And I went back home and realized, I was like, okay, so we've been through just being friends. We've been through dating. We've been through breaking up. We transitioned after that into actually just still being friends again.
Right.
Jesus. What are you waiting for more in a relationship? Really? And so that's when I kind of called him up and was like, hey, this is what I'm thinking. I think that we're like...
No. That is not what you did.
Oh.
Let's be honest. That is not what you did.
Okay.
This beautiful woman next to me was in a sorority in Missouri.
Now
it was a farm girl sorority, but she was in a sorority. And she called me up one day, and we were talking. We literally talked almost every day. And we had not officially started dating again. Had we?
Oh, I was still dating some dude.
Yeah. But she calls me up and she says, hey, so me and the girls, the sorority girls, were sitting around last night and we planned our wedding. Now, my dumbass heard sorority girls sitting around planned our wedding, like Susie wanted this and Tina wanted that and Becky wanted that and Aaron wanted that. Yeah. Oh no, they planned our wedding.
We weren't even back together yet. We hadn't even talked about it yet. I just said, you know what? I think Jerry's the dude for me, and this is why. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to marry that boy. And they went, cool. And then they jumped totally on the wedding track, and we planned it. And that's
Got to do this.
Well,
Gotta
the
do
best
that.
part was, I was a dumbass guy, so I talked to my sister, and I was like, "Hey, this is what Aaron said. What do you think?" And she goes, "Oh, she's probably just letting you know that she might be thinking of it in the future." And I was like, "Okay." And then I called her sorority sister and said, "Hey,
Right.
what the hell happened the other day? What was that all about?" And she said, "That means you need to ask her to marry you." And at that point, we weren't even dating.
Yeah.
So we broke up and then we got married.
And that seems like a positive way to do it.
Yeah. I mean,
let's break up so we can get married. Hey.
Yeah, why not?
It works for us. Don't try this at home, kids.
But here's
We're
the best
exception.
part. Now she gets mad when I call her my ex-girlfriend.
Oh, yeah. That's in fact, I heard that from my nephew over the 4th of July weekend. He called his wife his ex-fiance.
Yeah. Perfect.
Oh,
Love it.
I love that.
that's awesome. I said it made us all laugh. And hey, speaking of laughing, before tonight, when was the last time that you guys sat down somewhere together or whatever and just laughed your ass off? And do you remember what it was about? Probably something at Freedom Rally. Could
I
be.
was going to say it's at Algona, but I don't know what it was about. All I just remember is laughing a lot, hysterically.
You got to think, Harry, we have been laughing for 17 years.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
Let's see. Oh.
You guys laugh? Seriously, do you try to make each other laugh, or do you actually
I wouldn't say we try to make each other laugh. We just say funny shit and start laughing, and then the other one has to top the funny shit the first one said.
Right. So we do this thing where we try pretty hard to adhere to shutting off all social media at 8:00 and just focus on each other and just like tell each other about our days and like kind of reminisce about what happens. And that always kind of turns into a what happens, moment to where we are dying hysterically because of just like how we're transcribing the moments or what happened during the day. And so like, I think we take any little chance that we can to just like refocus on each other and being like, you're busy doing your thing, I'm busy doing my thing. And we reconnect about 8:00-ish and just kind of tell each other like what happened throughout this day and these little funny stories of coworkers and friends and whatever. And so we usually end up laughing every night from 8 until
midnight,
bedtime.
Yeah.
And so I can't pick out a time or a place right now, but that's kind of what's worked for us.
One line is definitely true. Laughter is the best medicine, and it's the way to really take life.
Now, I don't know if the listeners have ever noticed this, but when Aaron's telling a story, I've always got a clue something really funny is about to come up, so I prepare myself. Nothing irritates my wife more than when I don't laugh at the hilarious things she says.
Mm-hmm.
And that makes it even funnier because she knows it's funny and I'm not laughing and it just pisses her off. But she'll look at me. She'll go. And if they watch, she does that whenever she says something good. She goes, like, I don't know if I should say this, but I'm gonna. And that's when I have to, like, I suck my testicles in and I get ready for it. And I think to myself, don't laugh. Don't let her see you laugh. Because that makes it funny.
You got a beard to laugh at, All right, how about some serious things here? Do you have any dreams or things that you want to accomplish that you kind of put on the back burner?
Yeah.
Or can you truly just well, go ahead, explain that. Any
all
dreams
of my things money related. So we need to pick this show up and get it nationally syndicated so I can start making some cash and do my stuff.
We got to get like a million views.
Yeah, I literally want to travel the world. and not just, we've been to Boston, we've been to Jersey, we've been to Colorado. I want to travel the world. I want to see the pyramids of Egypt. I want to see Stonehenge. I want to see Baghdad. I want to go and just check out the whole world.
Right.
But we got kids.
Kids
And a dog.
That's right.
So
you put dreams on the back burner until they reach of age where they can go to college or, start their own lives.
They get together. Real jobs and I can start charging them rent,
Well, see, what are you? You're probably about 10 or 12 years away from that, or maybe 15. Probably another 15.
5 and 8.
Yeah. Okay. All right. We're gonna we're gonna get it moving faster, right? How about your marriage in general? What's one positive change that your marriage has had on you? A positive change.
I'm not banging hookers anymore.
Oh, well, there you go. Hey, that deserves one of these. I can't even imagine him wanting to pay for it. You had to have looked at him and said, listen, why don't you pay me?
Small victories in life. Small victories in life. So proud of you.
I am.
So proud of you.
Yeah.
Instead of banging one bitch.
Yep.
Good.
I've narrowed it down.
Can you beat that one, Aaron?
Yeah. I never banged a hooker.
You should try it. It's not bad.
Did you use glitter, or would you use glitter?
You just hold glitter up, and they came a running. I have the tears of your sisters trapped in a cup.
Yeah.
What? Okay. Wow. I got way off track.
Anymore.
What's the actual? What was the question?
That's why I say the things I say.
What's one positive change that your marriage has had on you?
You really shouldn't have to think this hard. Did you see how quick I
because
my answer?
Yeah.
I've always been kind of a lone ranger, and I can do this myself, and I don't need any help, and kind of thing. You don't ask for help. You don't need it. Things like that. And so over the course of many, many years, I have learned that why wouldn't I ask for help? I mean, he's doing this stuff too. And so I guess that would be a little bit of it for me, is actually learn to be a person and trust others and find out that, oh my gosh, he is dependable, things like that.
Okay.
Which I shouldn't trust him, because he's really not dependable, but he does kind of pull it through for me every now and again. Just well, I love her, so I guess I better do that thing. Yeah. Get the steps fixed, whatever.
You ever claim ignorance, Jerry?
Yeah.
Ever claim ignorance, Jerry?
I forgot.
I'm not claiming, dude. That happens.
Oh, that happens. Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, here we are with the Scary Myers here for our episode of Hanging with Harry. We got a few minutes to go, so let me go into the scary part. I want to know what scares the Scary Myers the most in life.
For reals?
Yeah. What scares you? Or do you have no fear? Fear's big out there. Come on,
Harry.
Yeah.
In all seriousness, the only thing that scares me is something happening to my children.
Right.
That's literally it.
And that's pretty. Yeah. I mean, I think anybody would say that.
9 years ago today, we were in Iowa City with Truman in the burn center after he fell in a fire pit. Mm-hmm. So even something happening to my children doesn't scare me as much anymore, because I know I've got her next to me.
Right. Good stuff. Yeah. Aaron, do you want to weigh in on that or?
Scary. Be truthful. You having a stroke, ending up in a nursing home, and me having to date again. Gross. That scares the bejesus out of me. People are weird out there.
He didn't say going back to banging hookers.
I don't know. Maybe that's the way. Maybe he's onto something. If you die, maybe I'm just gonna start banging hookers and doing coke.
One piece of advice: you don't pay hookers for sex. You pay hookers to shut up and leave.
Shut up. There you go.
Okay.
He's such a wise man, Aaron. He is. He's a wise man.
I am so much more than a pretty face, Harry.
Yeah, I know. See what sobriety and recovery can do for a person.
Let's not try and use me that way to sell it. Okay.
All right. So how about characteristics? What characteristics do you think? I mean, I can honest to God think that I'm not there seeing how you're like as a family, but I'm sure that you guys are awesome parents. But what characteristics could you tell everybody out there that makes a great parent? I'm not saying you are a great parent. I just think you guys probably did a damn good job so far. What characteristics?
Honesty.
I was going to say the same thing.
Freaking honest with your kids.
Yeah.
Don't tell them bullshit.
Yep.
Just be honest.
Yep.
That's true. Don't you think a lot of parents do? I think they bullshit their kids.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Why would you bullshit them? They get enough bullshit in life. They get bullshit from their friends, their teachers, life, society, media, all this stuff. Like, we are really honest with the kids. We tell them our life experiences. We tell them, we break down emotions for them on what's happening. Like, we pull the veil off for our kids of, this is the world that you live in. It sucks. Like, there's tough parts and there's amazing parts. Right now, you're going through a tough part. This is why it's tough. This is how you're going to get through it. And this is why it's going to make you better. But it's going to suck for a long time. And that's okay, because part of life is sucking. Like, not every portion of life is going to be great. So we are just brutally honest with our kids and what things we've gone through and what they're going through, and just try to tell them, like, look through the bullshit and look through what you want to do and put your focus out there and do it and have fun.
You know, it's kind of like the last year of what all we went through. Did they ever ask you any questions when this pandemic started, type thing? And what did you tell them?
So I was home with them at the beginning of everything. They were here doing school and I was here doing work. And I was just pretty honest in simple terms, because I didn't want to scare them into fearing a virus for the rest of their life. I didn't want them to think. I wanted them to know the severity of it, and I wanted them to understand, like, what we needed to do to keep others and ourselves safe and healthy and happy. But I also wanted them to know what they could do to still enjoy their life and their friends. And so we focused a lot on, okay, you can't do that, but tell me what you can do. And a lot of the times it would be like, there's nothing I can do. And I was like, well, then that's bullshit. And you really don't want to have that much fun, because there's always a way. And so, like, I will also not lead my children to where they want to be. I'm just going to say, where do you want to be? What are you going to do to get there? And go ahead and do that. Do you need some help or not? So that's
Did
kind
they
of
have any questions at all? Did they have any specific questions?
They had questions on if their friends were safe. And, like, they had some friends with some health concerns. And they also wanted to know, like, was Jer safe? Because Jer had to go to work. He did not have the option to stay home. Like, we were staying home for a while. And so they did have fears about, like, Dad has to go, but we're staying here to be safe. Like, why is that? And what is the differences? And so we talked a lot about, like, work policy and what his job looked like versus mine. and that not that one was better or worse than the other, but just that it is what it is, and this is what we have to deal with, and these are the things that we can control and change and push back against. So I am happy to say that neither one of them are like scared of going back to groups of people and things like that. I've heard some kids are.
Right.
So again, but we started being brutally honest with our children at a pretty young age. The only thing we were never super honest with is like we saw the Tooth Fairy and Santa Claus, and hopefully there's no kids watching that I'm outing anything to. But
good job, woman.
I know I just destroyed 7 children's lives. You know, we still do those types of things and whatnot, but everything else in life, we've been really honest with our kids.
Okay. All right. Well, this has been good confession time here, and a lot of different things.
Sorry, we didn't bring the funny and more of just the truth.
No. I wanted to. You know what? I wanted something different tonight, and I really wanted to focus on. I think because I really believe that you guys are seriously 2 very genuine people, and I love the hell out of you because you're so brutally honest. You know, and
I think I might have been too honest about the hookers part, though. I probably shouldn't have said that. In retrospect, I probably shouldn't have said that.
All right. Well, I think it would be interesting if all the viewers knew what your greatest attribute is and what's your greatest weakness.
No, I ain't giving that shit away, man.
Yeah, come on.
No.
Until we get a million views, then we.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, the greatest.
Okay.
Greatest attribute.
Oh, you're gonna start with me.
I'm gonna start with you. Yes, I'll start with you. Your greatest attribute.
You tell each other your greatest attribute.
Oh, you're going first.
I'll go first. I'll set the stage. Greatest weakness.
Oh, no, let's go attribute. Let's go good.
Greatest attribute.
Because we're gonna run out of time. So go with it. And you've got so many things to list that are my greatest attribute that will be done. It'll be done.
Pick a winner.
Your greatest attribute is like you genuinely care about people, and I know you want to deny it, and that's okay. Can you say you hate people?
I hate people.
You genuinely care about people. You want to give them great weddings. You want to give them great comedies. Even your interactions with like checkout people at a grocery store. He wants them to have a good day and know that they matter in some way. He wants them to know that I see you. What you're doing matters, even if it's the smallest task, it doesn't matter. So he makes every interactions with people matter, and that's your best attribute.
Okay, hold it right there. Then Jerry, what's her best attribute?
It's my tits.
I was going to say your ass. I'd say your best attribute is your patience with people. Her patience with people. Her patience is much better than my patience. She will be polite to the biggest assholes in the world, and that is something that I do not possess.
Right.
I can educate them kindly, and usually with a sharp tongue.
That's just it. The idiots aren't listening to you. But anyway,
I know, but
patience.
Well, even if the idiots aren't listening,
this is my turn, ma'am.
The people around me are listening, and that's what matters.
Ma'am, this is my turn.
All right, I'll shut up.
Her patience, with people and with me in general, because I know your listeners are going to have a hard time believing this. But it's not necessarily easy being married and living with Scary Jerry. I know it sounds all like roses and unicorn farts, but it's not. I'm a son of a bitch to live with.
I would take a goddamn unicorn fart right now.
Wow. How about a Hugo fart?
No.
Yeah.
That would definitely make us all laugh.
But yeah, I would say her patience.
Okay. All right. Weakness now. Before we end the show, here we go. Last thing. Okay. What's his weakness?
Oh, it's going to be a good one. Did y'all see that? It's going to be a good one.
This was
Greatest weakness.
because he said I don't have much time. Your greatest weakness. I don't want to give away your secrets, and I feel like
It's your tits. She started it.
Yeah. Well, we do honest stuff here on this show. So
My devil vagina music.
Yes, the devil vagina music.
Your biggest weakness is you like people, but you try to put this badass image in front of it so people also stay away.
Well, I don't know if that's a weakness.
No, probably not a weakness. That's more of a that's wrong. That's more of just
that's self-defense.
Self-defense thing. Weakness. Yeah. I don't know of a ton of weak things I would call weak in you.
You smiling.
You have I'll do secret time. Jerry has really big emotions, and like when he's very, very happy, he's very, very happy. When he's very, very sad, he's very, very sad. He's very
now in the psychological world, they call that manic.
No, in a very healthy way, you have a lot of emotions that you work through. And I'm more like a robot. My emotions were shoved out of me years ago, but you kept yours well intact, and sometimes that can harm you.
So I am a very emotional man. Mm-hmm. I will sit and watch that YouTube video of that little kid who has a terminal illness, and the high school brings him out on the football field, and they hand him the ball, and they've told the other team they're going to let him score a touchdown, and that kid is running, and he's just running for his life, and the other team's throwing themselves and landing behind him, and a tear will start to form and run down my face. Yeah. But I will also laugh like a maniac when that one player on the other team didn't hear the message and just pile drives that kid into the ground. That's the full swing of my emotions. I feel great for that little kid. It's awesome. It's emotional, but it's also really funny when he gets knocked out of his shoes.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Do you get emotional on the Sarah McLachlan pet stories or the?
Oh, I don't give a crap about that. Okay. That's just a giant money-making machine, is all that is. They don't really give a crap about those animals.
All right. But you do give a crap about your lovely, beautiful wife here, Erin, and you've got to come up with her greatest weakness.
She can be too trusting at times.
Yes.
Oh.
I know.
And I hate that. I don't want to say she lives in a fantasy land in her head, because she is a very logical and very smart woman. Yeah. But it's almost like she thinks nothing bad will happen to her. And it just it hasn't done her wrong yet, but I'm just really scared that it's going to. And when it doesn't, it's going to be horrible.
Yeah. I'll take a lot of risk. And until people prove me wrong, I'll trust most. But
and the thing of it is, there's nothing wrong with having your heart in your sleeve, and that's what you do. You know.
No,
I mean,
and the way that I balance that is I know I can trust people, because I also know that I can back up my ability to.
Okay, tough girl.
Get my way out of most situations. So, like, I feel like I can safely navigate those waters. But yes, I do trust way too. No, everybody knows I trust people.
Yeah, everybody gonna be hitting you up for $10.
Oh, no, I don't got no money.
I appreciate so much the honesty here tonight, guys, and you guys are always great to have on. And we gotta say goodbye.
Hey, it's been I actually have a gig coming up, Harry.
Oh, do you? I'm sorry. Yes, plug away.
This Saturday at Doozy Days. In Garner, Iowa, at 3:00, I am hosting a beard contest.
Oh,
wonderful. For the general public.
Right?
Yep, right in Central Park on the main stage.
A beard contest. Okay. All right. Not a tattoo, not a piercing,
Nope.
but a beard contest. Okay.
Beard contest.
Yep.
And I
I
don't
would
know
think
if you've
so.
ever seen. I don't know if you've ever seen a beard contest, but they can get kind of boring. So what I do is I lightly roast the contestants and the crowd while doing the beard contest.
All right. All right.
Yeah.
What do you look for? What do you look for?
The three categories are fullest, longest, and best effort.
Oh,
So if I
think-
just draw a few
Yep,
whiskers,
that's a good effort.
could I?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a good
how's
effort.
my goatee?
It's pretty weak,
Oh, it's-
Harry.
It's weak.
It's a little crooked.
It's a little
It's-
crooked.
Yeah, I hate to say it, man, but it's a typical DJ goatee.
Perfect.
Oh God, I'm like you.
Because
I've had this.
you realize the goatee is the inbred cousin of the full beard, right?
Yeah, I realize that. Yeah.
Yeah.
The inbred. Thank you.
Yeah, the inbred cousin of the full beard.
I'm sure you're going to have people flocking to the beard contest if that's the type of contest that you're going to give to people.
Okay,
I hope
good. I hope so too, and I hope people go up to Jerry and say, "Hey, I saw you, man. I saw you on Facebook. Saw you on YouTube. We
Yep.
got this on for those. I don't know what you're watching on, but we have it on the Harry O Show YouTube channel, the Harry O Radio Show Facebook page, my Harry O'Neill profile, my timeline, and then tomorrow I'll get it on the Fox website and other Fox stuff going on.
I don't know,
there,
man.
YouTube.
I dropped a lot of F-bombs this episode. You might want to leave it off the radio station's page.
It won't be on the radio, but it can be on the pages and stuff like that.
Okay.
All right, let's give it up for the Scary Myers. Love you guys so much. It's always fun.
Thanks for having
We
us.
will-
We appreciate it.
Again.
Bye.
All right. Bye. 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 All right.